You are, without a doubt, the most wonderful person in my life, actually, the most loved person in my entire existence. It's a well-known fact, not just to me but to everyone around me, that I love no one more than I love you. My friends often tell me that I am completely vaped, lost in you in a way that even they can't tease me enough for. My siblings laugh and say that I am wrapped around your little finger, unable to say no to anything that even remotely concerns you. Can you believe they tease me like this every single day? They think they're joking, but honestly, they're speaking the truth. Still, I act annoyed and roll my eyes, but deep inside, I hope you never find out just how accurate they really are. In fact, you've somehow become their secret weapon against me. Whenever they want anything from me, they don't argue or negotiate, they just casually drop your name into the conversation, and like magic, I give in. They're becoming far too mischievous for their own good, but even then, I can't blame them. They know exactly how much you mean to me. And the truth is, I am completely yours, through and through. I can't think of anyone else. I don't want to think of anyone else. You have captured my heart so completely that no other thought even tries to cross my mind. For the first time in my life, time seems to slow down when I'm with you. It feels like the world outside us fades away. I have spent my whole life running, chasing one thing after another, one dream, one ambition, one goal, never stopping, never resting. It was like I was always in a race against time, against expectations, against myself. But now, being with you, all of that has changed. Now, for the first time, I want to stop running. I want to rest. I want to simply exist, with you, beside you, around you. You have shown me that life isn't just about work, responsibilities, and the endless pursuit of something better. You have shown me that life is about moments. About sitting still, breathing deeply, and loving fully. I have always considered myself a simple person. My expectations from life were never too grand, just a peaceful existence, the love of family, and the ability to work hard. I thought that would be enough, and for the longest time, it was. But then you came into my life and changed everything. You made me see dreams I didn't even know I was allowed to dream. You awakened a part of my heart that had been dormant, a part that yearns not just for love, but for a love that is deep, passionate, and extraordinary. I used to think I just needed someone who would be kind and respectful, someone who would understand the bond one have with my family and share in it. But with you, my dreams have grown. Now, I don't just want someone kind, I want someone with whom I can build a life so full of passion, depth, and understanding that it would feel like poetry written every day. I don't want the typical love story that others settle for. I don't want the kind of love that can be summed up in clichés. I want the rare, once-in-a-lifetime kind of love, the love we have, and I want it completely, without hesitation or doubt. You have turned me into a romantic, even though I never thought of myself as one. Somehow, you made me fall in love with the idea of expressing my feelings, of telling you just how much you mean to me again and again, just so I can see that beautiful blush spread across your cheeks. I'm a little old school when it comes to love. I want to care for you, to provide for you, to be your shelter and your peace. I want to sit with you for hours, holding your hand, talking about everything and nothing. I want to hear your dreams, your worries, your laughter, and your silences. Every day, I find myself dreaming more and more about the life we are going to build together. Little dreams, big dreams, silly dreams, they're all wrapped around the thought of you. I dream of mornings waking up next to you, of lazy Sunday afternoons spent in each other's arms, of adventures we'll take, and of the quiet, everyday moments that will define our forever. There's so much more I could say, and yet, no words could ever fully capture what you mean to me. All I know is that I can't wait to come to you, to hold you, to tell you in person just how much I love you. I love you today, tomorrow, and for all the days of my life. You are my present, my future, and everything in between. The person who holds a special place in your heart is now awakening to the deep realization of how immaturely he once pursued this connection. In the past, he genuinely believed that it was you who needed to grow emotionally, thinking that you needed to become more stable, more self-assured, more independent. But now, with clarity washing over him, he sees that the truth was far different. You were already incredibly understanding, emotionally grounded, and far more mature than he ever gave you credit for at the time. He had convinced himself that you needed to work harder on yourself, to stand on your own in all areas of your life. Yet in reality, it was he who was heavily dependent, emotionally, financially, and perhaps even spiritually, on his family or some karmic ties that held him back. He projected his own fears and shortcomings onto you without ever realizing that you were carrying yourself with grace and quiet strength all along. You weren't the one behaving immaturely, it was him. You navigated every difficult and dramatic situation with courage, authenticity, and a level of maturity that he now looks back on with deep admiration and, perhaps, a twinge of regret. At that time, he was operating from a page energy, inexperienced, impulsive, and not yet ready to step into his true potential. He was far from the emperor energy that is required for a stable, healthy, and lasting partnership. Back then, he was blinded by his own insecurities and immaturity. Now, however, he is overwhelmed by the fear of losing you because he sees you moving forward in your life, fearlessly, confidently, and without hesitation. You are no longer waiting for anyone to catch up to your growth. You are claiming your path and embracing your independence with a lightness that is impossible to ignore. To him, you are unlike anyone he has ever met. You shine with a light that he could not see clearly before, but now it illuminates everything. He recognizes that if he wants to rekindle the love and affection that once flowed so naturally between you, he must change. He can no longer afford to engage in mind games, to fall into old patterns of playing the victim or avoiding responsibility. Your presence has been a catalyst for him, teaching him powerful lessons about forgiveness, about breaking cycles of emotional dependency, about self-respect and self-love. Your influence has not only touched him but also those around him. People close to him have noticed the subtle yet significant changes within him, a softening, a maturity, a deeper sense of accountability. They see that your impact on his life has been profound, that you have stirred something within him that no one else could. Through you, he is beginning to understand that love is not about control, fear, or blame. It is about partnership, about standing side by side, about choosing each other every day with honesty and courage. Now, this person finally understands that it is time to step up, truly and fully. He realizes that if he wants a place in your life, he must take responsibility not only for the relationship but also for his own healing and growth. Half measures and empty promises will no longer suffice. He knows he must meet you where you are, strong, independent, and thriving, or risk losing you forever. As for you, it's important to continue focusing on your own journey. There may be pieces of yourself that you lost along the way, dreams set aside, self-worth questioned, love dimmed by past hurts. Now is the time to reclaim all those aspects of yourself, to nurture your own soul with the same love and patience you have given so freely to others. If you and this person choose to walk this path together, it will be because you both have grown, not because you waited for him to catch up, but because he rose to meet you. Together, you can create something beautiful, rooted in mutual respect, trust, and a shared vision for the future. But whether or not he is able to match your energy, always remember that your journey is sacred. Your growth is yours alone, and you are more than capable of creating a life of joy, abundance, and deep fulfillment, with or without anyone else. As you both continue to heal, to support each other, and to grow, your relationship, should you choose it, will not just survive, but thrive. You have already proven that you possess the strength, wisdom, and grace needed for a love that is true. The future holds infinite possibilities, and whatever path you choose, you are destined to walk it with a heart full of courage and a spirit unbreakable.